So that's why repetition is so important and paying attention to what we're doing every day. Because even if you think, oh no, this is harmless, I ain't doing nothing, it's like your subconscious mind is taking this in, and it don't care if it's good, bad, not bad, it's gonna take it in and it's there. If you sit there and you tell yourself every day, man, I suck, and you might sit there and be like, man, I really don't believe that, but you're saying it, your subconscious, outside of your conscious mind, it don't care if you playing. All it knows is it hear you, and it's gonna create that in your life. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't gotta be nobody else, just be yourself. When you look up in the mirror, I pray you see yourself. Pray you see your worth, and I pray you see some well. Wanna free yourself, gotta always be yourself. You ain't gotta be nobody else, just be yourself. When you look up in the mirror,
Well, I go by the name of Rich P. EVOLON, man. You already know, Rich Pride. That's what it is.
I go by the name of Chris Hunter, Digital Native Culture. I had tweeted something the other week, man. I had said, what I said, don't make a compromise with reality, following an illusion or something. I forget exactly how I said it. It wasn't that long ago, so I know it's at the top. But that just reminded me of that. That made me think. Hold on, I know I said, don't give up on reality making a compromise with illusions.
Wow.
Because people will do that. You know what I'm saying? They'll literally like
work a job, be in a marriage.
Yeah, just compromising with the illusion, with you know this ain't right. You know this ain't, you know what I'm saying? But you've created this story in your mind and you're making the compromise off of this made up story you made. And you're making a compromise with reality. Because you know what's real.
6'9".
You know what I'm saying? You know it's
6'9". 6'9".
But you know that I just said that because I just see people do that all the time, man. It's like folks will they'll start telling themselves stuff like, I don't really want XYZ just because they're not obtaining it. And it's like, you do want it. You're just compromising with the illusion that you're not supposed to have it because it's hard. It's becoming hard for you. Don't ever do that. Like, just keep working towards that goal. You know what I'm saying? But people will sit there and they'll tell themselves, oh man, I don't even want that no more. I'm not even into that no more. And it's like, stop lying to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, making a compromise with an illusion.
You shining some light on me in the area right now. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I'm thinking about some stuff right now, man.
Damn. You can't do that, man.
I was gonna open my mouth and be like, man, I know a lot of people like that. And I'm over here, I'm like this. I'm motherfuckers. Damn.
Can't do that, dog. Like, you know, and you know, I know sometimes like people do it because it's easier. It's easier on you to cope. It's like I haven't obtained this, so I'm gonna act like I don't want it. But what I find, man, in that is like it's not acting like you don't want it, man. It's somebody asked me recently. They was like, man, how do you keep your happiness with like the way the music business is and music is now? And I know what they meant, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it can get frustrating, especially if you're a person that's really, really a musician, or you know what I mean? That's not really the business of things. Ain't really focused. You know what I'm saying? And I told him, I said, man, my happiness doesn't lie in this music business, dog. And I would be miserable if it did. That ain't where my happiness comes from. Is this what I do? Yeah. It's what I do, and it's my career, and I love it. But it's in no way, shape, or form, fashion is I let my happiness lie in it. You look crazy. You know what this business is? You know what I'm saying? If this is where you lie in your happiness, dog. Woo.
So how did you get into the business? Like, what made you want to get into, like, you know, engineering, into hip hop in general? Like,
man, I couldn't even answer with the hip hop thing. It's my whole life, man. And really, man, it went far back as I can remember. Music's been a thing, hip hop has been a thing, and it just kind of, I started with it so early that I think that I kind of planted it in my mind that this is what I wanted to do at a very young age. So I don't really remember a time where I was like, I want to get into the music business. You know, like I remember thinking in high school, like, you know, you get around your junior and senior year, and you know, everybody's coming and they're talking to their advisors, and everybody's like, I'm gonna go major in this, I want to do this. And I remember thinking to myself, like, when the hell did y'all decide y'all want to do this shit? Yeah. Because I had always, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what meeting was I not in? Right. Because last year you wasn't talking about you wanted to be an accountant. All of a sudden you want to be an accountant. Yeah, did I miss a meeting or something? Everybody got a career they want all of a sudden. Because I never had to do that. I always had made a decision in my mind that that's what I wanted to do music. I wanted to be in the music. So I wasn't scrambling junior, senior, trying to figure out a major. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people would do. All of a sudden, they had never thought about marketing in their life, but all of a sudden, oh yeah, I'm gonna go into marketing. I want to be XYZ. I want to be an accountant. And it's like, I just was confused because I was like, where does it come from? I know you. Yeah, I know you, dog. Like, we never talked about accounting. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but it was because I wasn't doing the same things that they were doing at that time because I had already figured it out. So what other stuff was you doing? Like, man, I was already in the music. I was rapping. I thought I wanted to be a rapper. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I got into engineering because I had a homie that was a little older than me, and I started rapping. I went over his crib. He had a little setup. This was back a long time ago, man, where everybody didn't have a setup at no capacity. This was back when Fruity Loops was something to laugh at. You know what I'm saying? People making beats at, like, I'm talking about early 2000s. So he had like a few little pieces of equipment. He had something called Cakewalk. It was a program they make. And man, he went off to college. He was older. I was like a freshman. He was a senior, but I grew up with him. Our parents were best friends. Okay. And he went off to college. He left all his stuff. And so like I had my computer, but he left me the programs, and then I had some hardware that he left me, like a sampler. So I started making beats and then recording myself. He left me his mic, all that stuff. Which he was set. I think I actually had that mic. So he left me, and I started rapping. I started messing with everything myself, and I got more into engineering. Right. You know what I mean? And I would ended up just recording just to engineer myself. And then when I finally went to college, that's when I actually met Translee. And I started recording him in my dorm room because I took all my stuff. You know what I'm saying? I had the whole setup in the dorm room. And so yeah, man, that's how I really got in. And it's funny because when I met him, I was actually still rapping a little bit. So won't nobody ever hear it, but we got songs together. Like you know what I mean? Like from way back, we got. I want to check them out, man. We got some, because that's how you would get in the studio back then. Like you know, in my mind, I was still in that artist/engineer mode. So I'm sitting there like he'd do a verse, and I'd be like, all right, man, I'm about to do mine now. Was he already like a rapper at that time? Yeah, he was rapping, but it was more of a hobby. You know what I'm saying? Type of deal. I was a dude on campus that just recorded and he rapped. So was you more? I think what I'm asking, like, was you more serious with the music than he was at that point? Oh yeah, I would definitely say I was, like I said, man, I had brought a studio down to my dorm room. I'm from Michigan originally. I carried that shit halfway across the country to Alabama, set that shit up in the dorm room. Didn't know nobody. I just knew I got my studio. I'm about to take these classes. You know what I mean? So people started finding out I had the studio, and then Translee rapped on campus, and they just kind of linked it up. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yep. And then I met my production partner who actually did a lot of Translee's, most of all of Translee's early stuff. Dude named Todd. I met him there. We all went to college together. It was just in the dorm room. That's how we kind of developed what we was doing, and then when I graduated, like I said, I moved here interning and just came here, and then he came shortly after I did, and we just been knocking it out ever since then, man. I ended up getting him signed to the company that I was interning with. That was his first deal. College Park Music. So I'm familiar with College Park. It's Yin Yang Twins, Soulja Boy, Hurricane Chris, VIC. Soulja Boy was popping at that time when I came down. He was literally right into the second album. Kiss Me Through the Phone was blazing. Turn My Swag On was blazing. Like he was This was a hot time to be over there. Like,
I was kind of decent.
It was hot, you know. So I was interning directly with him and his brother Derek, who was the A&R over there and manager for most of the artists that came through there. Derek managed Yin Yang most of their career. He had managed Soulja, all of his early career, first 2 or 3 albums. Pretty much everybody that came through there, Derek managed or A&R them. So I was working directly with him and Tyler Park. So I was at the office every day with them.
Wow.
And that's how I eventually got Trans. Like, took about, I started interning in 2009. By 11, I had him a deal over there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now how, okay, in my mind, I'm thinking, like, how did you get from, you know what I'm saying? That was pretty quick how you went through that. Like, how did you get from, you know, rapping, engineering, interning, to basically managing? You know what I'm saying? Like, connecting dots like that. How did you, like, what, you know, was it some books you was reading at that time? Was it just,
man,
you know?
Well, you know, a book I've always read directly related to music business is a book called All You Need to Know About the Music Business, Donald Passman. Yeah. And I read that like freshman year in college. So, but I wouldn't really give that credit to what kind of took me on. I was reading it during that time, but I wasn't reading like I do now. I would pick stuff up every now and again.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It was just like I said. I never really. It was in my subconscious that I had been telling myself this for so long.
What's
that?
that?
I was just moving.
What you was telling yourself?
Just how I was saying earlier, that I never had a moment where I had to sit and decide what I wanted to do in high school or middle school or anything. I had just been telling myself that for so long that I had ingrained it in my subconscious. That so I was just moving. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have definite moments where I had to sit there and be like, man, maybe I want to do management. Maybe I want to do engineering. It just all was a part of the journey.
That kind of made me, see, that's the perfect word. I was going to ask you, like, it was something that you said last time I was here when you was like, man, like, you told me, like, man, you kind of just know when you kind of just know when you kind of made it. You know what I'm saying? It don't be like nothing big that happens. It's just like you kind of just, you just kind of know.
You just know. Yeah. When you're intentional about something, and you know, when you're intentional and you're in that space, you never really, because that's the whole point of that. You never really get it. You're always, but you get a piece.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know when you've reached that middle ground of just like, man, I still got more work I want to do, but you don't feel that anxiety of you're trying to get somewhere that you can't get. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I mean by like you just know, like when it's time, when you're ready for something, you know. Like you ain't. Have you ever been ready to do something and been unsure at the same time?
Right now.
You have.
Yeah, right now.
Ready and unsure.
Yeah.
Then that mean you're not ready.
No, I'm saying I kind of live in that space. I live in the space where it's like, not to say unsure, but unknown. You know
that's two different things.
Okay.
That's two different. Unknown is that's life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But what I mean by unsure is I've never been in a situation where I felt 100% ready, like, come on, let's go.
Right.
And at the same time been unsure. Because if I'm unsure, that means I'm not 100% ready.
Yeah.
I'm not ready
if
to
I'm
go.
unsure, I probably just ain't gonna go. Period.
That's what you know what I'm saying? You ain't never been ready. When you ready, you just ready. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. You know,
might not have a plan.
But you know.
But you know.
Yeah,
you're
gonna be all right. When you know, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what knowing is. So you can't. Those two things don't.
I like that.
Yeah. So
I like that. And we was talking about this the other day. Like, it's just, I call that just being.
Right. Exactly.
Just being.
Intuitive.
You know
just being. Just be. Like the comment out. Be.
Yeah.
The present. The present is a gift, and I just want to be.
Right. You know, and it's only in you to be.
Yeah.
What's in you. I think it was a line you said. I seen. What I was born to be, I'm going to be.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
What I was born to be. When did I say this?
I don't know the date, but I did a little research.
On my the Twitter, you went down my.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, bro, honestly, and that is me. You know what I'm saying? But my Twitter, I use it, man. It's just thoughts like throughout the day. That might have been, it's like in the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'll be whatever. Like some things I say will be quotes that I just live by, and some things I say it'll just be whatever's going through my mind.
You was just being at that point.
And I was just being. So I remember saying it, but that's why I asked you. I couldn't even remember when. People would do that sometimes. Be like, man, when did I say that?
Yeah.
You know, somebody gave me a gift, and they had put a quote on there or something, and I was reading and I was like, when did I say that? I was like,
that's my work.
I said, I know I said this, but I don't remember where I was. Like, when did I say that?
Yeah.
So that's what it be on there, and that's all I really use, man. That thing is like a diary for me, man. It's like I just get on
Open
there,
book.
man. Yeah, I don't even care if I don't even care. And I don't got a bunch of followers. I mean, I don't even be telling people about it. I got like maybe 1,500, 1,600. I don't even, and I just got back on there like a year ago or something.
Right.
But that ain't even why. I don't even care. It could be 2 people following me.
Yeah.
It's not even about that for me. It's like, you know how you write in a diary sometimes. It's just good to get shit out, get thoughts out,
definitely.
and that's all it really is. That's all that shit is to me, man. Just as long as I can sit there and I got this thought in my mind, I just need to type it out somewhere. Man. And sometimes I'll go back and read it, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna put a book together on this shit one day.
But I think that's really, I think that's all we doing, man. It's just living a book. You know, we writing a book. We in a chapter now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We on a page right now. You know,
because everything's documented.
Right. And we are the writer. We holding the pencil. You know?
This is the first time in history that's happened.
What's
I can't that at a mass level, everybody for the most part is documenting their journey.
Yeah, wow.
But prior we used to have to, you know, you can find books of great philosophers that documented their, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm reading right now this biography on Che Guevara. Cuban Revolution, and the author, it's like book's huge, but it's like the most in-depth biography of his, and he's written his own books, but a lot of it was taken from his journals.
Right.
Like the author went and did his deep research, and he went and sat with family members and people that knew him and got all this information, but the bulk of that was written from his literal journals that he just kept every day.
I bet that's only 5.
And it was so vivid that it allowed a biography to be, but back then it was only certain people who were doing that. But think about it now. Think about 100, 200 years from now. You're going to be able to come back to this time and beyond, and everybody has written a book or a movie. This stuff's not going nowhere. Instagram, Twitter, this stuff ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
Your kids.
I just told them that that's exactly what I just told them before we came in. I said, man, I'm doing this so my grandson can watch that.
Right. Somebody's
That's exactly what I said.
Somebody's gonna look at this 100 years from now, pull it up, and be like, man, that's what they was doing. Like, this was new, because we fairly new to this too. You know what I mean? Technology, like, man, iPhone's only been out for about 10 years.
Man, just think about like that one person in your family that probably, not to say I know your family, but the one person in your family that broke the generational curse. You know what I'm saying? That built the empire. But prior to his existence, it was a whole history of poverty. And you got the chance to see him actually do that through his whole journey, documented.
I would say
that's how I look at it.
I would say, man, in my family, that's both my parents.
That's dope.
Both my parents my dad is one of 11 brothers and sisters. Only one to go to college.
Wow.
Out of them. I mean, they come from Alabama country, real. My dad born in 49, and he's the second youngest of his siblings.
Wow.
So I got uncles in their 80s right now, like, you know, out of that era.
You
feel me? So it's like he was the only one he grew up, you know, farm, like 11 brothers and sisters, they grew up, you know what I'm saying? You working, you getting up every day. But he was the only one going to college. My mom, same way. My mom's sister went to school too, but that's the thing, in my family, that would be, if I had to look at it, that'd be
my peeps.
Yeah, that'd be my people, you know.
So how, like what kind of lessons did you get, like, you know, from that dynamic, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
what you learned from it?
I would just say just life, just how I look at life in general. Opportunity, seeing vision, because I always say you don't know what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like somebody who's never been exposed to something, it's harder for them to develop that vision for themselves. To say, If you grew up in the projects all your life and all you've known is, you know, people in that predicament, in those circumstances, it's a little bit harder to vision or to see yourself in 10 years as an accountant sitting at a desk in New York. Or
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it can be done just as easy, but it starts with that vision. It starts with that intention. And so when you're coming from there, it's just hard. It's harder to get that vision. So I think that's what the difference was with me. Like having parents that, you know, even though, you know, I got to see kind of both sides of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to see, you know, I got family members with, you know, you go to places where they're not doing too well. You know what I'm saying? But at the same coin, I got to see the example of, okay, that doesn't have to be a hindrance.
Right.
You feel me? And I know that because I was raised by people that didn't allow that. Yeah. So I think that's just instilled in me and put this vision of like, if I want to do something, I can do it.
Wow, that's dope, bro.
You know what I mean? It's like limitations. No limitations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They said it was like two brothers grew up in the same household, and like the dad was like an alcoholic. He used to beat up on their mom, and then like one of them went on to be like a doctor, and the other one went on to be like an alcoholic or something.
Yeah.
And they said they asked him like what was the difference, like, you know what I'm saying? And basically like the difference was one of them saw their dad as an excuse, and one of them saw him as like the reason. Right. Yeah.
You know perspective.
I mean? Yeah.
Just the perspective. It's how you look at it.
Yeah.
It's how you look at it. Because I grew up with people too, man, that you know was sitting there right there with me, had same opportunities, weren't hurting folks. You know what I'm saying? And they doing worse. They didn't do nothing with it. You know what I mean? It's just how they was looking at it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, man.
That's how they was looking at it.
Perspective, so. and honestly, like another thing that go into perspective to me is like you kind of touched on, like that surroundings, like your environment.
The
like,
environment, yeah.
You steady.
It controls your perspective, man. It definitely does. It's hard to, like I said, you just don't know what you don't know, man. It's, you know, if you've never been exposed to something, if you don't got the type of people around you. Like, for instance, man, I always get into it with people. I always get into it with folks that get to talking about our culture, and when they start talking about it with too much of a victim undertone.
Yeah.
I always get into it. I always start asking questions, and that ends up in debate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason I ask questions, and the reason that it's hard for me to just accept some of those things is because I've seen different. I've literally seen. You know what I'm saying? See, but like I grew up in a city where I saw successful black. I grew up in a city where I saw successful black people, and then I've seen people, white folks, in worse positions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, it was.
So you was able to.
The balance of it,
yeah.
So it's extremely hard for me to just completely have them conversations because I know better. You know what I'm saying? I know better.
And then people argue to you they
No, they're not. Yeah, but the one thing you always hear from them when you start asking questions is that they've never been exposed to it.
Right.
They you know what I'm saying? They didn't really see a lot of successful black people growing up.
Right.
So their mind is, we're beat down. This is what they doing to us. We can't.
Yeah.
We're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, I do understand the struggle and the fight that we're doing, but it's like, if you're not recognizing the tools that you have in front of you, you're never going to be able to be a part of the fight.
Right.
You just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and it's like, we got to realize that it's like, we just have to realize that there's opportunity for us, and that we might not be able to see, and that there's tools that are there for us that we got to pick up, that I think sometimes we will ignore. And like I said, it's just because the thing is how the perspective of people. It's easy to feel defeated when that's all you've seen.
Right.
Is defeat.
Yeah.
You know.
I think another thing is like, it's easier to be a slave than it is to be free.
That's right.
You know, people
less
is,
work.
yeah.
Shit, it's easier to be in prison than it is to be free.
Really though,
It might not be a cakewalk, but it's easier. Nigga, they
easy.
bring you food. You ain't gotta pay about no
You
bills. You
ain't
ain't
gotta
gotta do. I was
All
talking
you
to
gotta do is
somebody
wake
about
up.
that the other day.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody who actually did some time, and he was like, yeah. He was like, you're right. I mean, it ain't where you want to be, but yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
You know,
wake up.
same thing every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy. You don't have
Hey,
to.
you ain't got to think about what you got to do. They gonna tell you.
They gonna tell you what you gonna do. Yeah, you know exactly who you gonna see today, what you gonna do, what you gonna, you know, that ain't where you want to be, but it's easier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's probably why you got some people who can't stay up out of there.
I can see that. Oh yeah. Most definitely.
Because they might not tell you this, or they might not know it themselves. But it's a thing of damn. When I'm back, it's sad. But when I'm back out,
it's hard.
It's hard. It's hard. This ain't my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my little brother just went through that. I got a little brother, man, and I watched this whole transition. You know, when he came home, he had all these plans. You know what I mean? I'm finna get into real estate. I'm finna, you know, get into building houses. And, you know, I'm finna, you know, I'm finna do all this. I'm finna do all that. And he really was like, I could tell, like he meant it. You know what I'm saying? He really wanted to do this. Like if somebody had the opportunity for him to do it, and they brought it to him right then and there, and put it in his lap, he was going to do it. You know what I'm saying? No problem. But the problem was that it didn't happen. You know what I mean? That nobody brought it to him, and he didn't see it around him, like you said. But what he did saw was, you know, I can go grab some of this and go sell it to this person.
I got,
you know what I'm saying?
I got a cousin right now, man, that he's in prison right now, violation probation. He sat down for 6 years on a completely different charge, got out and was working, ended up getting fired from the job, and I don't know what the reasonings was, but you know, it probably was a lot to do with just acclimating back into society. You know what I'm saying? And he told me, he said, man, it got to the point where it was like, man, I started doing what I knew. And
there you go.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the cycle. And it puts you right back there, and you know. So yeah.
That's why I say I'm comfortable in the unknown, for exactly that reason.
Yeah.
You know, because I recognize like that known just gets you right back where you're at.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
You ain't no growth in your known.
That's right, yeah.
You know, it just really ain't.
Yeah, that's like there ain't no growth in your known.
It ain't. You know, you just gonna be right there.
You're gonna be in the same place.
It's gonna probably look different, but it's gonna be the same thing.
If you're only pulling from things you know, then you'll always stay in the same place.
Yeah. So the thing to take from it is just to, you know, and go seek the unknown. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I like reading stuff like
I used to go to white bars, bro.
White bars, any other experience, just anything. Traveling too, going out the country is a big one too, man. Yeah, that's a huge one. I did that last year. Well, not last year, now year before last now, but for the first time. And that, man, as soon as I went out there and just got to look, I was like, man, you know how you hear folks always say, like, man, if you get a chance to go overseas, go. Go. Like you know why they say that. As soon as you're over, because you like, it ain't even nothing. Just, I mean, the visual of it is definitely interesting, but it's just the feeling of, like, damn, man, it's a whole bunch of shit out here that ain't got nothing to do with me. It just like you like, man, they don't care about nothing we talking about back over there in the States. None of it.
Piece of it.
And matter of fact, when I went, it was Thanksgiving week. I was in London for a week. It was Thanksgiving week, and that really drove home that point, because Thanksgiving came around and ain't nobody give two flying, like it didn't even exist.
They don't even celebrate.
Oh no, because it's a complete American holiday. They don't even like.
You and that
it was just Thursday, dog. It was just Thursday, like, you know, nothing. It wasn't even like, you know how like certain, like a Valentine's Day, you know, you go over to Europe and it'd be, you know, folks happy, you know,
none of that.
Thanksgiving, dog. Now I'll tell you one thing they was doing. Next day was Black Friday. Them stores was open, and I asked them. I said, so y'all do Black Friday? And they told me they were like, they picked it up over here. Maybe at the time they were like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, because of the companies. Because of the money. They'll have like a Macy's over there too. Macy's want their money. You know what I mean? They not just finna focus over here because it's Thanksgiving. They just made Black Friday a worldwide thing. Wow. So they do that everywhere. But yeah, man, it was interesting because it made you think, like,
that just made me think about something like. Go ahead, my bad.
Oh no, but it just made you think. Just how many things we focus on and that are part of our everyday lives here that
Really ain't nothing.
And not saying it's nothing because it is our everyday lives, but it's important to remember that the world is so much bigger
than that. But what we know.
And that takes some of the anxiety away when you keep that in mind. Like, man, it's way bigger than this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's funny that you said like how the holiday didn't get to transfer over into the other places, but the money flipped. The money flipped. Somehow it got over there.
The money
you know what I'm saying? But nothing to do with people and humanity. It don't transcend.
No.
That's crazy.
So that was a big one. Just traveling, that opens your mind up, man. But yeah, that's what it's all about. Just and I always say reading, just because that's something you can do without having to get up and go nowhere, man. And that opens you up to worlds and things and people's minds and stuff that you might have not been exposed to in your regular circle. You know what I'm saying?
I honestly got that aspect of my life crazy. I ain't gonna say crazy. It's just unique. You know what I'm saying? I got that from jail, bro. Just having different cellies from different places.
Different places,
you know? And they telling me their stories every day, all day. I'm really interested. It's like movies. That was our movies. That's how we passing time. Get the popcorn.
Meeting new people, hearing new stuff.
And then what happened? Then what she do? Straight up. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you just going through experience all the while you in this room for
Right,
years.
right,
Like you ain't went nowhere, but you didn't went everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I know this person. I was just telling her last night, man. I was in a cell with a nigga who chopped up a body. He didn't kill the person. He didn't kill the girl. You can look this person up. You know what I'm saying? He him and another girl, him and a girl and a dude, basically all together. The girl killed. Was it the girl who killed the girl?
It was like it was like her friend. It was a whole bunch of drama.
Yeah.
It was like her friend. Two of their friends killed the girl, basically. Like the girl got into a fight with her, strangled her to death. And
so the girl killed the girl.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So the girl killed the girl, and she went and hired basically the dude who I was in the cell with to basically like dispose of the body.
Right, yeah.
And I'm in the cell with this dude, and he telling me the story. You know what I'm saying? We teenagers. We was in our teen. We like 15.
Oh wow, yeah, damn.
I'm in the cell with the man. He like, yeah, man, and he just sitting there calm as ever, just telling me the story. Like, yeah, you know, she really was the one who killed her, man. Like, you know, she came to get me to get rid of the body. I just chopped her up, and
that's wild.
I set the body on fire, and you know, the body, it wouldn't burn. She was frozen so much.
Wow.
The body wouldn't even burn. So that's really how we got caught. But really, she was the one who killed her. Wow. This is what he telling me. And I'm just like, damn, so what else happened?
Right, yeah. Just taking that shit you don't get to hear every day, man. Like, you know.
Yeah. So it's just like, man, now, okay, I got that experience. And I go over here, I'm in another cell. This person, he Hispanic. He telling me about their culture and how they salsa dance. And that's just they real. That's what they do. That's like everything for them. Just getting together, eating, and dancing. And you know what I'm saying? It's like he used to play his little music, and I used to be watching, like, you know, he dancing in the room with me. I'm just looking like, you a cold-blooded dude, though. You outside of this,
they like
you
salsa,
cold-blooded,
but
you over there like salsa. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is crazy. You know, but man, you know, but my point in saying that is, it's like you learn from your experiences, no matter where you at, no matter where you got it. You go on a journey.
Perspective, man, because I'm sure it's a lot of folks up in there that are not seeking knowledge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That are not, you had an open mind. You wanted that. You wanted to fill your time with, you know what I mean? But it's a lot of folks probably in there that
just sitting there
or filling their time with shit that ain't benefiting them. You feel me?
Mostly that.
So
commit more crimes.
Commit more crimes. Getting into more shit than they was getting into. You know what I'm saying? So it's perspective. Perspective, man, is all about that.
So how was Alabama, man?
Alabama was cool, man. I grew up going back and forth my whole life. Both my parents from there. So But it was cool, man. I don't have really a desire to live there.
Yeah.
But it was cool for school.
Okay.
You know, it's a good place. It's a cool place to raise a family if that's what you want to. You know,
Right.
if
That's the goal. The
yeah.
idea.
Well, nah, just that. It's not like a huge metropolitan area. It ain't.
Right.
If you want to go to a city and you want to go and have your store and your neighbors and you know your people and you go to a safe school, there's a whole lot of that
Right.
in Alabama. It's a great place to
Do that.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
that and to get into football.
Yeah. Outside of that,
Yeah, it ain't
too much.
It ain't nothing. Nothing. Birmingham actually has been coming up though. Not when I was living there, but in the last like 5 years, man, Birmingham's been developing a lot.
yeah,
You can go there and actually have a good time.
yeah.
Huntsville's a cool place.
I heard about Huntsville.
Yeah, Huntsville's a cool place.
Is that where Rich Boy was from?
Rich Boy's from Montgomery.
Okay.
Or
Mobile.
Mobile. Yeah, he's from Mobile,
Yeah.
a little further south.
Yeah.
Mobile's down there. Mobile damn near Florida.
What the music scene like down there? Like,
Alabama got a good music scene in general, man. Like Alabama has a lot of artists. That's why you'll see one pop up out of there every now and again. This has been the thing that I've seen, man. I feel like Alabama doesn't support their own as much as some other places do.
Yeah.
I've always been trying to figure out why. You know, if I had to say my opinion on why, I feel like it's because so many artists in Alabama, the objective is to get to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? When
Okay.
you from New York, your objective ain't to get nowhere but New York.
Right.
When you from Chicago, your objective ain't it reps just shy.
Yeah.
Even LA, you know what I'm saying? And even other places. Memphis too.
Yeah.
They rep, you know what I mean? But one thing that I've noticed there is that everyone's objective there is to get to Atlanta, which I understand why, because
Right.
that is, that's the closest place to them that where the scene is at,
Yeah.
where there's a music scene, a reputable music scene at. But I think it kind of hurts the culture in the state as far as support goes, because I feel like if more artists would focus on, this is what we do in Alabama, and we
Right.
coming together. I feel like there's enough there's such a good music scene there that it would pop off on its own. You know what I'm saying?
Cause Rich Boy had a nice sound.
Man, I
He had
love
a nice sound, bro.
I was
It
in
was
college when that came out, man. I bought that album, and Polo did that. I was so mad and confused because I was like, how come more people aren't supporting this shit? I'm in the state. I'm from Michigan. This is my sophomore, junior year or something, and I'm like, y'all just got an artist come out
Yeah,
from the state.
yeah.
Ain't nobody going and buying them. I was so confused, dog. Like, they wasn't really repping it like that. It was an incredible album. Like,
I think sometimes people just don't be. I don't think they know how to make a movement. If that makes sense. Like I know people that like for my own music, my own experience. Like people like my music, but I kind of get the vibe from them. Cause where I'm from, it's kind of like that. Like it's not really like an infrastructure there for somebody to blow like that.
Right.
So it's like even at the ground level, like even open mics, like it ain't even really that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I think the fact that they don't really know how, I get that sense. It's like, okay, I like your music, but it's like, all right, what's next? What do I do after that? I don't know what else to do. So it's like the energy kind of like starts to like dissipate after a while, of just thinking like that. Like, okay, I like you, you're nice, but I don't really know what else to do.
Right.
I think it kind of, I don't know, maybe it got something to do with that, just not knowing, but I think as artists in a situation like that, we kind of gotta go get the information and bring it back to them,
right?
So they can know.
So they can know.
This is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Call this radio station. Tell them to play this song.
Right. Yeah.
And keep calling them.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
like, it's certain things. Like I said earlier, what you don't know, what you don't know. So yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I think, man, something that actually kind of was a hit for the state, man, is as far as music, as far as rap goes, is when Doe was killed, when Doe B was killed, because Doe was he was one of them people that was about to be a real trailblazer for the state.
Facts. That's why I say I like their sound, bro. They got a different sound. It's original.
Yeah, Doe was about to really be a trailblazer for the state, and I think that he was gonna be that one that was gonna. I feel like he was gonna really rep Alabama.
Yeah.
You feel me? I didn't get a vibe from him.
Big time.
Yeah, like even when he got killed, he was back in the Gump.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying? He went home and he wasn't even supposed to be back down there. Tip said that he was supposed to be flying down to Florida to get in the studio with him and Pharrell.
Right.
And it was around Christmas, and Doe said he was about to shoot back home for a night because one of his partners or something had a thing going on. He just wanted to go support. Went home for that night, and
that's crazy.
yeah, because he was literally about to fly out the next day, go down there and get in the studio with them. But he was definitely, man, he was putting on for the state, man, and I feel like things would be different as far as Alabama's hold in the music industry if that wouldn't have happened like that. And his manager was from out there. He was everybody, and dude named Frank White, everybody in the state. He was everything with his movement was Alabama.
Moving. Yeah,
it was moving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like that was a blow.
He was set up. He was set up to go.
Yeah, Tip was all in with him, man. That's so that was just unfortunate, man. Just in general, and
I forgot Tip had Stamp Town.
Yeah, man. He said he was signing Granos.
And then here you go.
Yeah.
And now how did you get into that situation with Tip?
Man. Actually, my business partner right now, he wasn't my business partner at the time, but a guy named Javon, he's Tip's assistant and cousin, his family.
Okay.
And I was getting my hair cut by this girl named Amber, and she was Tip's barber too.
Right.
And so we had finished up a project with Trans, and it was an MAOTP project. And before I put it out, my whole
MAOTP.
Yeah.
What's that?
It was called Mind All Over the Place.
Okay.
Yeah. It had Lost in the Sauce on it. It was one of his bigger records. But so after we finished it, my whole objective was, I was like, man, I want to shop this around first. I don't want to just put this out, because I was like, I want to put it in the hands of somebody that can help do what we need to do with it. You know what I mean? And so I had sent it to a few people, and was just planning on taking like a month or so to shop it. And then I just gave it to my barber, and was like, yo, get this over there to somebody with Tip. You got to give it to him. You know, I think I told her, I was like, I actually would prefer you not give it to him, because I know how this works. Like,
you gotta kind of be in the record a little bit.
Well, nah, he's just, you don't really never want to give your music to the artist unless you know them personally, because 9 times out of 10, they not finna. They an artist.
Yeah, they own everything.
Yeah, it ain't a malicious thing. It's just. You know what I'm saying? It's oh, cool,
trying
cool.
To sell dope to a dope dealer.
Yeah, trying to sell dope to a dope dealer. It's like, that what's up, dog? You know?
Yeah, right. Man.
They gonna put this. But so she ended up getting it to Javon, and he listened to it. He loved it. Basically, man, within like 3 or 4 days, he called me and was like, "Yo, Tip want to meet with y'all."
Wow.
So we met up at a studio. I think Tip was doing birthday bash that year, and he had a rehearsal for his birthday bash.
Wow.
And we just pulled up, man, and just waited for him to get done with that, and we sat down, chopped it up, and that was the rest is history with that. We didn't really have to do too much more, man. It took a minute to get the business done, but Tip already knew. When Tip know he want to fuck with somebody, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
He
locked right in.
Yeah, he locked right in.
Yeah.
So that's how we got in that situation, man. And this was removed from the College Park. We put his first, we put out all his mixtapes out with College Park. And then we put Culture Junkie and MAOTP out completely on our own, completely outside of a label. At that time, we were kind of in a transition.
Okay.
Doing everything on our own, which that ended up being 2 projects that catapulted him, I would say, in the industry the furthest. I would say his foundation and fan base came from a lot of his early stuff, mixtape stuff. But as far as like industry, really touching the industry, the 2 projects, Culture Junkie and MAOTP that we did, that's what got him. MAOTP's what got him his deal with Tip.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And actually, little quick, just ironic and sad at the same time, but the guy that I just came when we pulled up is a memorial that I just came back from.
Right.
He's actually the person that had funded all that. He was putting money in the company,
Wow.
It's crazy. It's a crazy story. He hit the Mega Millions back in 2012.
Wow.
That was my partner, my homie. Hit
Wow.
the Mega Millions, 75 million.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. And
He got killed?
nah, man, he had cancer. He was diagnosed with cancer earlier this year.
Man, condolences.
Yeah, appreciate it. So yeah, man, it was a ride with that. But he put all the money up for that, and man, we were rolling, man. And then that's what got us into the tip situation.
Man,
Yeah, so that's how we.
that's heavy.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
So, Freedom Summer.
yeah, that's what we did. That's the first project he did once he's over there. We're about to put out actually 2 projects. He's putting out 2 projects top of this year. But Freedom Summer, yeah, was the
Classic, bro.
yeah.
I rode. I told you that was my like ride,
Yeah.
road music. Like I was on the E-way a lot.
Yeah.
Man, him and Amari Hardwick,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
skits.
yeah. Oh,
like
yeah,
man,
yeah,
that was another another life, man.
Yeah.
Like one thing about me,
I might have to get older to do the next one, man. We need to
oh
make
yeah,
that a
that was a
bang.
nice, that was a nice blend. That was a nice blend. Shout out to Ghost, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Ghost.
Ghost. That was a nice blend though. And his poetry, like he was right along with the substance that Translee was coming with.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? Like
Absolutely.
that
Have
was
you ever looked up any of his other stuff, poetry stuff?
I seen some on his IG. He
he's-
kind of drops every now
Yeah,
and then.
man. He's very like. It's funny because he's in that almost kid-like stage with music still.
Yeah.
You know, he's accomplished, and he's not done with what he's gonna do with acting.
Right.
But he's in the race, like he's already running, and he's part of that with his acting. So
Right.
he lets that do what it does. But when you get in the studio with him with that music and the poetry, he's like a kid, man.
Yeah,
like he be excited. You'll be in the middle of a session, you'll be sitting there and remind yourself, man, is this Omari Hardwick?
Yeah.
Up in there, man? Like this is nigga from Power.
Ghost ain't supposed to be smiling
Yeah,
like that.
he's supposed to be so happy, but he's in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything's exciting. He loves it. Like he's always done it. Like he's always written poetry. People just haven't known that part about him.
Right.
But you know, he's been putting a project together. And Trans has done. Actually, it's funny. This is crazy. Translee, Redman, and Method Man have a record together.
Wow.
I haven't heard Red and Meth on a record together since
me neither.
2004.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
And he on Power too. That's crazy.
Yeah,
man,
yeah. Meth is not, because him and him and O are cool. I don't know how Meth got his role on Power.
Okay.
I don't know if that was a relationship. I know they are tight though.
Right.
But I don't know how he got the role on Power.
Okay.
But
No. I was saying, is that how they locked in to do the song?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably not though, because like I said, they're cool outside of that.
Oh, okay.
It might have not had nothing to do with
Right.
the show.
Now,
You know what I'm saying?
is Amari? Is he rapping on it, or is he doing a poem?
He's rapping.
Okay.
But this is the thing, his raps are more spoken word, so it's
Yeah.
like I would put him in there with like Common and stuff like that.
Right,
like
right.
it's because some songs he will just straight up spoken
Flow.
word. It'll just
Oh,
be a
okay.
spoken word. But then
Okay.
some songs you'll be like, oh, he's spitting, he's
Yeah,
rapping
yeah.
right now. But
Yeah.
you can tell it still comes from a spoken word place.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
how you can tell like a Common, like you can tell his foundation, like
Right.
oh, he writes poetry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a different cadence.
Different cadence,
Yeah.
You're more or less finding a beat to put your emotions and your voice to, opposed to letting the beat lead the way.
Right. Because I was going to say that's what I do. The last
Let the
thing.
beat lead the way.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but
Yeah.
it's just a different style of. A lot of people who do poetry and writing, they don't even write the beats. They already have
Right.
their, like you can hear it with Nas. If you listen to Nas, you can hear it with him. You'll be like, he ain't right to this beat.
Yeah.
You know what
He
I'm
just put
saying?
that on
Yeah,
there.
he just put it on there, and it's because he's just looking for a beat to get his shit off.
Yeah.
To. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of how I started too. Cause
Yeah.
like a lot of I was locked up early.
Mhm. You was
As a
writing.
young dude.
Yeah.
I'm writing.
Yeah.
I'm writing in jail.
Yeah.
Come home, I gotta find a beat to go there
Yeah.
because I had some shit. I'm
Yeah,
like, man, I gotta
You
find a
was
beat for this.
looking for beats to get your shit off.
Yeah.
Too. It comes off different.
Yeah.
I enjoy
Yeah.
that. I enjoy hearing that when I hear it. I can always tell when someone's done that. Like people like comment, like you can just hear it.
Yeah.
Because you can hear that they're not following the beat.
Right. It's not
They're
even
staying
about
on beat, but they're not following the beat.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah,
You can hear when someone wrote to the beat because the way they flip,
It
maybe
shifts,
their melodies is shifting
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
beat.
Yeah.
So and neither way is right or wrong. It's just
Right.
a different method. You
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
me?
yeah.
But
Kind of like a
yeah.
battle rapper trying to get on a song.
he just
It's
gonna
not
get on
gonna
there and
sound-
spit his shit.
Yeah,
He gonna stay on beat, but he's just spitting his shit on this beat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. A
What
lot
you
of New
think-
York cats do work like that.
What
know?
you think the game need right now, man? Like as far as like, you know, talent wise, like what are we missing? In your opinion.
I think that we're getting more towards it, but a balance. Balance. Just balance in general, man. Like, cause I've never had a problem. I always tell people, man, when you talking to folks older, my age or older, you're getting those conversations about the younger artists, and you know, man, I've never been a content beating down people about content. I hate when older people do that, as if every artist that we had in the 90s was just the most conscious person in the world. Nigga, Bone Thugs and Harmony talked about selling dummy rocks and jacking niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit wasn't profound. You know what I'm saying? It was great music. This shit was great music, but what I'm saying is older folks sometimes act as if everybody that we grew up with was just so conscious and we done got away from that. It wasn't that, it's just we have balance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Tupac, great example. Like, Dear Mama was a single. Brenda's Got a Baby, they shot a whole video for that. These are album cuts nowadays.
Facts.
But they would put this on radio back then. Right next to Hip Hop Hooray. You know what I'm saying? Right next to a whole different. Tupac had Brenda's Got a Baby and I Get Around, 2 singles off the same. Hold on, no, those are 2 different. I Get Around and Brenda's Got a Baby was first.
For my niggas,
that was Tupacalypse Now. But was it Tupacalypse Now or Strictly for My Niggas? Brenda's Got a Baby. I'm gonna take it Strictly for My Niggas. I got the example that I want to give. He had Keep Your Head Up and I Get Around. Same album, same run.
Right.
They put both of them out and shot videos for both of them. They would never
2 total different joints.
balance, dog.
Yeah.
A label would never, dog. If you was a I Get Around type artist and you got a deal now, they'd be like, hey man, we need about 5 or 6 more I Get Arounds.
Fact.
And if you was trying to push them, Keep Your Head Up, they'd be like, hey man, do you want to sell this to Lecrae?
Because you ain't
You know
finna
what
do
I'm saying?
this.
Because we're not finna give you a budget for this, dog. We getting around right now. You know what I'm saying? It's just the balance is not there. That's what I feel like is missing, man. It's not a content thing. I love what the young kids. I sound old. I love what the young niggas is doing. It's just there's no balance. We need the balance. You need to know what the repercussions of goddamn selling dope to you till the sun goes down. You know what I'm saying? You need to know that's what it was back then, man. Like, niggas was talking that shit, but you also got the other side of the coin too. Nowadays there ain't no, it's only one side, man. Everybody selling dope, everybody scamming, everybody, you know what I'm saying? And there ain't nobody talking about the what comes of this shit. Not in the young, there's older rappers that are doing it now, but I think that's what's missing.
Do you think at this point though, just the way people have been programmed to hear hip hop music and rap music, do you think if it was an artist to come out to speak that type of way from that standpoint of, all right, look, if you do this what's gonna happen to you? Do you think that will be received though? Like, even if it's a good song, do you think it will be received by the listeners?
It would just have to happen the right way. Everything will have to be right. It would have to be an artist that has gained or just comes off in a certain way where they get the respect that they need to be able to penetrate through. I wouldn't say it couldn't happen. Great example, it happened last year. The Lil Baby with the Bigger Picture record.
Right.
That wasn't a typical Lil Baby record or typical for trap music at all. You feel me? That was a conscious record.
But say if he would have came out like the gate like that
I don't
know.
But that's what I mean. It's got to be right. Like, he built his, you know what I'm saying? Everything was right and it was received.
So you ain't saying this, but I'm gonna ask this. Do you think you gotta bullshit it your way through first in order for that to come off?
I wouldn't say you got to, because that's why I keep saying, like, it can happen. What I'm trying to say is, it becomes harder when you're doing it. You have a harder journey. But that's nothing I gotta say, man. All you gotta do is look and see at the artists that any artist you can think of that actually has content and talks. Their journey's different. It's harder. It's an uphill battle. They're not getting on overnight. No. They're not the ones. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's real. That's real. Like what you see is real, and their pockets and their success is reflecting that. Yeah. No matter how they kick it to you online.
Yeah. That's what it is.
It's real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, artists are like I always give Crit is a great example of that, man. Crit is one of them people. He came in the gate with the Coles, with the Kendricks. He came during that same time, but it's like when I see Crit's still climbing, man. And he's one of them. He's resilient. You know what I'm saying? And he got his base, but Crit is still that one step, one hill away from. You feel me? And that's what separates it, man. The ability that he has. He wants to say a lot in his music, and it's the way he delivers it. And he's conscious. He thinks he can't do it. He can't do it without doing that. Yeah. And I think a lot of times, man, that'll hold back. It just takes. It's a longer road. Right. Cole is a great example of that on the other end, because I was telling somebody yesterday, I was like, when you think about Cole's run, it honestly took Cole about 6 years to really break through to the point where he didn't need his label.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
If you think about them early projects,
like 2 albums in.
Bro, all them early projects, dog. You didn't feel J. Cole. What you felt was Rock Nation. Yeah. Pushing their product called J. Cole.
Facts.
Think about it. Every album back then, you knew it was out because he had a radio single. Yeah. He had all the promo. He might have had a video. It wasn't just J. Cole, but what he did, he got tired of that, and he probably saw for himself like, man, I can't stand on my own. I need to go and beg for a budget, or I'm not gonna say beg, but I need to go ask for a budget in order to get my shit off. He don't gotta do that no more, and the reason is because the move he made a few years ago when he started getting out here and working with people outside of his realm. This nigga took Young Thug on tour with him. Wow. You know what I'm saying? He was doing records with them. He was doing, and what happened for him with that is he was able to get all those fans as well. And it kind of took him out of it basically put him in position of respect. Right. In the business. And it took him out of that space. More of that balance, like you said. Gave him more of that balance. Yeah. So it took him out of needing the label to put his albums out to, shit, J. Cole could goddamn go independent right now and put an album out and people would care. Facts. He wouldn't even need a radio single right now. Yeah. He wouldn't even need a radio, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't need that at all. But before, you know what I'm saying? He was a big artist, don't get me wrong. Cole's been on for a minute. But every time we saw him, it was
big machine.
It was a big machine. Yeah. You feel me?
Yeah. I think when he started to finally seep through for me was probably Forest Hill Drive.
Okay.
That's when
that's my favorite. That's my favorite Cole album.
Me too. Yeah. But I think, well, I ain't gonna lie. I think I like the warm up as a, you know what I'm saying? And like a body of work. If we don't judge body of work, I'm gonna say warm up, bro, because I think that's when I first really got on him. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I was telling everybody, like, yeah, this dude, he finna be nice. Like, people didn't even know who he was. I didn't even know who he was. I was telling people his name was Simba because that's the song I first heard him on. It was called Young Simba or something. And I'm telling everybody his name is Simba. The whole time it's J. Cole, and here we are. Like, this man, you know, he legendary. He just put it across.
Oh yeah. But that's just an example of that balance, man. Like he tapped into the balance from the other end, because he could have easily been stubborn and been like, man, I ain't working with them niggas, man. They don't be talking about shit. I got shit to say. Right. And it's like, all right, dog, well then stay over here by yourself and say everything you got to say. Yeah. And none of them folks, it's the same example of, like, you know, it's more beneficial for a preacher to get out in the streets and speak to them folks than to you preaching to the choir up in, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, if you really want to reach people, they not up in here with you, dog. You can stay up in here with your people all you want, but if you want to grow, you gotta go get them folks. And that's what he did. He gave himself that balance, and it put him in a great position. But I think the industry needs that balance. If the industry in general, major labels were fighting for that balance, I think that the whole industry, everything would change.
I think what I think about a lot lately is just like I call it the extension of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think as rappers, we got a certain conversation that we have as an artist, but I think it's the conversation that's been the same conversation for so long. I think we need to like extend it into what we doing.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or other things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody got a podcast or somebody.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, one of my homies. He got a shout out to my man Vito. He got a rap restaurant. Like he sell raps and it's called Rap City.
Oh,
and every
dope.
rap.
In the city?
Nah, he in Peoria.
Oh, I was about to say, I love raps.
Yeah, me too. Man, but every rap is called like named after like a rapper or some reference to hip hop.
That's hard.
You know,
I like that.
just stuff like that. Like that's extending the conversation.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
you have to respect that. Atlantic Records, you gotta respect that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Def Jam, you gotta respect that.
Absolutely.
It don't matter. You know, this is one person as a rapper. I can go and just open a restaurant and do this. Like extend the conversation. You know, I think I can just to your point, like just to balance it out. I don't think it always just gotta be the artists who we connect with to balance us out.
Right.
I think it's just sometimes it could just be the avenue that we're in to balance it out. You know, bring a little bit more context to your content.
Absolutely. And I'm just talking black folks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's a melting pot with everybody.
Yeah.
But even when you get into our culture, it's still a melting pot.
It just keep on. It's like
Yeah.
dimensions and dimensions
Yeah.
and dimensions and everything dimensions. And,
So we just talking about. I was saying within that, I was like, you kind of forget when you live here so long. You kind of forget that, and you end up taking it for granted until you leave, and then you're quickly reminded.
Yeah, it ain't that.
Yeah, you quickly reminded, like, oh, forgot I left Atlanta.
I just went back home for the holiday, man. I felt the same thing.
Yeah, you
I'm
feel
like,
it.
man,
You feel it.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I like home, but
we run this city. Black folks run this city.
Yeah.
We run this
That's
city.
That's a different vibe and feeling when you know that. Like,
we run, and it's about white people here know it. That's why we continue to run the city, because they know it and they respect it.
Yeah. And ain't nothing wrong with that.
It ain't nothing wrong with it.
Do it everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But, you know, but that's the thing. They know it and respect it, and we keep that stronghold.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they know you don't get that vibe from white people here in the city.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never walked in nowhere in Atlanta and felt like looked at or stared at or looked at like, oh, the black guy just came. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't get that look or vibe in the city, man. Even if you're in there, even if you happen to go somewhere and be the only black person in there, as long as you within 20 minutes of the perimeter, you know what I mean? Folks is just used to it. White people are used to it. You go about 20 minutes outside, 30, 40 minutes outside, though, you in Georgia now.
Yeah. This ain't Atlanta.
This ain't Atlanta no more.
Yeah.
You in Georgia.
I see that.
Yeah. But,
so what you think about money? What is money to you, man? Like what's your first thought when you think about money?
A means to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish.
I like that.
Yeah.
A means to accomplish the things you want to accomplish.
And you know, whatever those things are, man. Like, it's never. It's funny. A lot of things you brought up, I was just having conversations, man. I was talking with somebody the other day, and I was telling them, man, it ain't never about the money. You know what I'm saying? People get confused thinking that it's about the money. If it was about the money, you wouldn't have millionaires that blow their brains out. It ain't never about the money. You know what I'm saying? The money is just the means.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to make you happy, if you get money, I suggest you spend it on those things that are gonna make you happy.
Facts.
And that might mean going and giving all your money to church and tithing.
Yeah.
If that's what keep you happy, put your money there.
Facts.
Because it ain't never about the money.
At all.
You got millionaires out here that are depressed, blowing their brain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
House full of stuff. Cars, all the cars you'd ever want. You know what I'm saying? It ain't never about it. It's they're putting their money into things that aren't making them happy.
Exactly.
That's what it's about.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
The money can't.
It can't do that. It can't do that. It will never do it. It's never gonna do it. It can't do it. It can if you take it and utilize it the right way.
Right.
But that's what I mean. It ain't never about the money
though.
because you can get that without the money.
Right.
There's somebody There's somebody living up under a bridge right now that's probably happier than someone living in Buckhead right now in a mansion. I guarantee it, dog.
Most definitely.
It ain't never about the money, dog. So that's always my take on it, man. I love it. You know what I'm saying? But I love it for what it is.
I love it for what it do.
For what it is. You know what I'm saying? For what it is, for what it does, and what it can do in the sense of my growth and development.
Right.
I don't love it for the money.
Love, or do you? It's really the growth of the development.
Yeah, it's the growth. That's what I mean. But I was just answering directly with what I feel about. Money is money. Yeah. But it's not the money that. You know what I'm saying? It's not the. It's not. You feel me?
That's not the focus. That's
man.
That's not the motive. That's the means.
Exactly. Yeah. So so go back. Yeah, I love what it can provide.
Right.
If it's providing things that promote growth.
So is a person rich before they get the money or after you?
It depends on the person. It depends on their mind.
Yeah.
It depends on their mind.
What about you?
Yeah,
Are you rich before or after?
Oh, I'm rich right now.
He said,
I'm rich right now.
Yeah,
yeah, man. Because it ain't back. You know what I'm saying? It ain't never about the money, dog.
Yeah.
Do I want to have unlimited funds? I want to be able to get up tomorrow and go and buy whatever car I want. Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But it ain't never about that.
Facts.
That'd just be some shit I do just because I want to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it ain't about that, dog. So, like, if the rest of my shit ain't in line and I'm not happy, I could have $1 million sitting in the bank, man. I'm not finna be thinking about no Rolls Royce if I'm depressed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The only thing I'm gonna do is buy the Rolls Royce and be depressed sitting up in that. And people always make that joke, rather be depressed than no, I would not. Depression is depression.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
No matter how much money you got.
If you about to blow your brains out, nigga, it don't matter if you're in a Honda or a damn Ferrari.
I think, I ain't gonna lie, I think the money will heighten your depression when you're depressed with money versus if you're depressed with no money.
Right.
Because I think the fact that you got everything and you still depressed, it adds to your depression.
Yeah.
Like, damn, what can I do?
Yeah, because now you don't. It's harder. I forget I forget it. Somebody in the room might be able to help me. There's a Bible verse that says it's harder for a rich man. It's something like it's more difficult for a rich man to get into heaven than it is for.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And
a lot of people misinterpret that though.
But basically, that's what you just said.
Yeah.
It's not basically saying you're rich so you're gonna go to hell. It's basically saying that sometimes wealth and riches can blind you from what's important.
Right.
And you're sitting here depressed because you think money or something you can buy is gonna fix that depression or fix your problem. So and you're so used to that, and you're so used to money fixing it, that you can't focus on the simple things right in front of you, which is what the reality of what's gonna fix your problem.
Yeah.
You're compromising the reality for an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what that means. But people do take that out of context. They try to talk down on rich people because it's harder for a rich man.
They try to demonize money.
It's like, no,
we ain't saying we don't like money.
It's not saying that. It's just saying keep your focus.
Right.
Keep your focus. You can
use it for what it's used for.
There's extremely rich pastors. There's extremely rich people of God. But you know what I'm saying? Most of them, I'm gonna say all, but most of them will tell you like it ain't about. This is just the means for me to. God has blessed me with these things, but not because. Right. It ain't about the money.
Yeah.
It ain't never about the money, dog.
It's about what you need the money for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's never about the money, man. 'Cause you know.
I put a post up that it ruffled some feathers yesterday, man. I said, it was a meme. It said, if they put 100 mil on the table with a book teaching you how to make 100 mil, I'm taking the book, The Real Understand. And I ruffled some feathers, man. Like people came on there and was like, oh, you fake deep, and you know what I'm saying? You just gonna take the book and you ain't gonna take the 100 million. Ain't no human being in the world gonna take the book over the 100 million, and that's some old, Yeah. And I was just, like I said, like my position on it is, first of all, you got to put that into context with how many family members I have.
Right.
That 100 mil might not even stretch as far as what you think it will.
It's
with,
circumstantial.
You know what I'm saying? With my family.
Person's circumstance.
First of all, and then that's just one hit. Bam, you hit him one time.
That's
and then
giving
what?
a man a fish.
Right.
You're trying to learn. Yeah, you're trying to learn how to fish. Yeah.
Keep this going, man. Let's keep this
Now,
going.
now my answer to that would have probably been something like, "Man, I'll take the money and go buy the book, buy my own book.
Yeah.
I'll buy 100 books, nigga."
But that's what a lot of people say.
They were saying, yeah,
But
I'll take
my answer was, first of all, who was they?
Right.
And they never said they was giving it to you.
Right.
They just said it was on the table.
Right, exactly.
So my thing would have been, what's the stipulation?
What's the
if I
stipulations?
take either one of these motherfuckers?
Right. Can I not? Yeah, what are the rules? Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be my first question. What are
Ain't
the
nobody
rules?
finna just give you no 100 million.
Right,
They
what are the
said
rules
they.
behind this? Yeah. Well, you ever seen Brewster's Millions?
Nah, what's
So
that?
you never seen it? It's a Richard Pryor movie. Why you didn't
Oh,
watch that?
man,
Richard
I'm
Pryor?
tripping.
Yeah, man. Definitely watch that ASAP. It was on maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's a classic Richard Pryor movie, 80s. Basically, man, he was left an inheritance from a distant uncle or somebody in his family. I forget if he knew him or not, but it just kind of fell on him.
Yeah.
And they called him in and they were like, "You've been left with, I think it was like $30 million or something."
Yeah.
But the stipulations were, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. He could either take $1 million right now, it'd be his, or he could get the 30 million. But the stipulations with the 30 million was that he had to spend all of the money, every last penny of it, in I think like 30 days or 60 days or something.
I think I did see that. That's when he had the little car. With
Yeah.
The,
And if he failed, he didn't get anything.
Yeah.
And there was more stipulations in that spend it all, because it really shows you about like appreciation and stuff, because that was the problem he ended up having. It's hard to spend that money, because when they said you can't have a penny, they meant nothing in your name, no assets. And he kept having problems because he kept buying shit and shit would appreciate.
Wow.
So he think he's wasting his money and wake up the next day and got that made more money, and he was like,
wow.
So it was hard. But I'll let you watch the movie, but it's just interesting.
See, I think I seen that when I was a kid.
Yeah, probably so.
Because
Yeah,
in my
so-
head, only thing I think about it, he had this little, like a little mini car.
Oh no, you talking about the toy? You
Okay,
talking about
yeah,
the toy
okay,
with the little
okay.
boy? He had to babysit the little rich man's boy. You
I
talking
remember
about the toy? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
okay.
good one too.
Okay.
But watch Brewster's Millions.
I gotta check that
Yeah,
out.
man, that's
Yeah.
good. That's a classic.
Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna find some good material.
I don't know if you remember this old video, Lil Flip, The Way We Ball. I don't know if you remember that video.
I might have did. I was
He
a Flip
took
fan.
he took from it was a flip of Brewster's Millions. The whole video was Brewster's
Okay.
Millions. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out, man.
Yeah.
So every episode, I got this little segment where I call it Richer Priorities,
Okay.
and I basically
Just a great way to segue into that.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I basically just posed the question like, what is more of a priority in your life to you than money? Like, and why? Like, what holds more of a priority to you? Three different things.
3 different things.
And why?
Okay. I got 2 off the top. I'm trying to think of the third.
Okay.
I know it'll come. Health. I don't even know if I need to explain.
I got you.
Health.
I thought about it, I'm like, nah.
Yeah,
we got it.
health. That's just self-explanatory. Spirituality.
Okay.
And within that, self-awareness, just being one with self.
Yeah.
Just be in reason behind that, just because, like we were saying earlier, man, I'm a firm believer in everything trickles down from there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything starts with self.
Right.
And when I say self, I'm speaking of self being a spiritual, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
connection with God, connection with, it all starts there, awareness of self. So that's why I put that up there.
I think,
And then-
I will, not to cut you off, but just for anybody that may be listening, I think that confuses people. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I noticed, like, when you say God,
Yeah.
they probably ain't gonna tell you, but they don't really get
right.
what you're saying.
Yeah. I
And
feel
like
you.
knowledge of self and self, because one thing I notice about self and having knowledge of self is like, it's hard to see yourself unless you're looking in the mirror.
That's right. Yeah.
So like, can you the best, I know it's hard to explain, I already know,
It is.
but like, In the best way possible, can you explain like what is it like? What's an indicator? Or what's some things a person can do to gain like that certain knowledge of self?
Man, the first step that somebody can do just to start gaining it is reading, picking up books about self-growth, about spirituality, man. Just taking in the concepts, because that's where it comes from. Is just understanding the concepts, and it's not. This is the thing about it. It's not concepts that you didn't already know.
Yeah.
Most people just didn't realize.
Put it in perspective. Yeah.
It's almost like what we was talking about earlier with the, you get so used to something that you take it for granted.
Right.
Like you would use like a hand, like a body part, all of a sudden stop working,
right,
and you're like, dang. So it's the same way with that, man. Like a lot of principles in self-awareness, spirituality, and just self-growth. They're things that you already know. When you hear them, you think you immediately feel like, man, this is simple stuff.
Yeah.
But what you realize is, yeah, if it's so simple, why am I not implementing it every day?
Exactly. It ain't that simple.
You know what I'm saying? The principles are simple, but that's what self-awareness is. It's implementing those things and being aware of those things constantly and every day. And when you start doing it so much, it becomes second nature.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I always, another quote that people use that kind of goes into this that I like you saying is, have you ever heard someone say, when you want to succeed as much as you want to breathe, that's when you'll be successful.
Yeah.
People get confused with that because, folks might hear that and be like, well, I'm not about to obsess over something so much that breathing, like that's my, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I always tell people is this. I always ask people, I say, when's the last time you thought about breathing?
That's a good perspective. Yeah, that's a good.
You don't. That's what that means.
Yeah.
You don't think about breathing.
Just be
now,
it. Yeah.
When you want to succeed as much as you want to breathe, that's when you just gotta be it.
Yeah. That's my.
That's not obsession. That's not over obsessing on your over your. That also goes into what I said earlier about I don't put my happiness in this business. I love it. I love what I do. You know what I'm saying? But I do it because I am.
Yeah, that's the,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I
exactly
breathe it.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking. You know what I'm saying? I'm not obsessing over.
Yeah,
I breathe
it's not
it.
the thought.
It's not the thought.
That's what I was saying earlier. Like we observe the thought.
Yeah.
When you get to that space where like you observing your thoughts, like I recognize when I went to the bathroom that I did not have to pee at first.
And
now I gotta pee.
And now
I
right.
observed
You
that.
observed that. Yeah.
I went to pee, but I still thought about it. Like, damn, this is wicked. You know what I'm saying? There's something else going on here.
Yeah.
And you like you said, the more you interact with that beingness, you know what I'm saying, the more you can, become it.
Yeah, become. Yeah, you just become. And what you do on a daily will become like breathing.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a beautiful feeling.
Yeah.
So what's the last? Go ahead, my bad.
No, you good.
I was gonna say, what's the last one? I had to cut you off. The third one.
Man, I was still gathering that.
Okay.
Said health, spirituality. And so many things go in that spirituality one, man. Because I'm thinking other things, but I'm like, that's within the same.
It's everything. That's what I say. It's all up underneath that.
Family and friends.
Right.
Family and friends, and I put those all in one saying because I look at both as interchangeable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like family, I have friends that I consider family.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
All family is family, but I have friends that I also consider family.
That's right.
I was about to, because I don't have any family that I don't consider family, but I have family I don't consider friends.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah. That's all. Right.
Yeah.
But I and not for any malicious reasons. Just I just don't know. I don't know you like that. You're my family, and if you need something, but I don't. Friend. I don't,
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? I have friends that I consider family, and that's important. You know what I'm saying? To keep people around, man. Like-minded people. That goes. I'm gonna add this to it. Like-minded individuals and people around. I like that's within the family and friends. So,
right. Yeah, that's everything.
And because that's what speaks into you. If you're on a journey yourself of self-awareness, you need other people. You need family. You need friends. You need people that are like-minded that are going to speak into you, and you can speak into them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that goes both ways. Like, you know, you want people around you that are going to be able to say things and do things that are going to keep you on that path. But then at the same time, as you're on that journey, you want to have people who are going to allow you to speak into them.
Yeah.
Because you grow on both ways. You grow when you're giving and when you're receiving. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I feel like that's the game. That's the life. You know what I mean? That exchange.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what it's an
That's what
exchange.
keep this whole thing
It's
going.
an exchange.
Yeah.
It's all about an exchange. Who said that the other day? Somebody said, bro. Somebody said that the other day and was like, man, this is all about an exchange. And we had a whole conversation like this about an exchange. It got into spirituality, but it was about an exchange.
I mean, when you, all the way from our existence, like from our birth, like a woman and a man came together in exchange.
Yeah, exchange. Yeah.
And then here we are.
Everything's got to balance out.
Yeah.
And it will.
Yeah.
Whether it balances right now or later, everything balances out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yin and the yang.
Man, that's deep, man. That's super deep. What you got going on next? Like what you working on? I know you got some up your sleeve.
Yeah, man. Well, like I said earlier, Translee's about to put about 2 projects out probably in the first quarter of this year. So we're doing that. I have another artist named Gray. He just dropped a project this week called "I Wish You Love." I have a dude artist named Mike Morton that I'm working with. He's a new artist, so he's putting stuff out. And then, man, just building up my studio here and working with artists and building clients. And I have an artist that we're in talks with right now, man. And I'm debating if I want to say his name just because I ain't even gonna say it, man. We'll keep that for the next one.
Okay.
I got somebody that we're meeting with right now that.
His name ain't Rich, is it?
might be.
I think I know a guy.
Yeah. I fuck with it, man. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Just building right now. I wanna. Last year was a good year for me, man. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. It wasn't good in the sense of a lot of circumstances that happened, but as far as time that was given for growth. It was a good year, man, and so you learned a lot, picked up a lot, got a chance to slow down for a second and just, you know what I'm saying, figure out exactly the direction. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm in you know how you be in like Arizona or somewhere like Nevada and it's all flat lands and you see for miles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like now.
I think we share that feeling, bro. Because you describing it. That's how I feel on life. Like right now, that's
a good place to be, man. When you can just see.
Yeah, facts.
You know?
Like it ain't no turning around.
Yeah, nah, ain't no.
It ain't no trying.
Yeah.
They just wake up, be.
Just be.
Yeah.
Just be, and if you know your intentions are good, you know that your spirit is in the right place, man. That's all you gotta trust.
Yes, sir.
And that's all you can trust.
Yeah.
What else do we know, man? You know.
We hang on to the slide. We hang. That's somebody said that life is like going down the slide, but what we do, we gotta try to hang on.
Hang
to
on. When it's like that ain't how. That ain't what. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta hang on to it.
Go on, just
slide, dog.
Just slide, man. Yeah.
Just slide. Yeah.
I come bearing gifts, man.
Okay, I like gifts.
You know, welcome to the club, man. Welcome
All right.
to the tribe.
Is this a sweater? Hoodie? Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
Oh, even better, bro. I'm wearing it tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, man. That's love. That's love.
I was thinking t-shirt earlier, and I was like, oh, man, I'm going to have to wait until it get warm.
Oh, no, I got you, bro.
Oh, man, no, this is perfect, man. This is going on tomorrow.
I appreciate it, man.
What's up, man? I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. This is a dope conversation, man.
You got the tag. This is official with it.
Man, I'm trying, man.
Man, that's hard.
I'm trying.
Tag and everything. This is nice.
I'm trying.
Appreciate you, man.
And we got some more work to do, too.
Most definitely.
We finna get it in.